Welcome back to Sunshine Library. I have a couple things I would like to talk about, so without further ado, let's get into it. What I wanted to discuss is I did finally finish Sunrise on the Reaping. All I can say is poor Haymitch. Just when he thought it couldn't get worse, it gets worse for him. If you really want to understand more of Haymitch and what he went through before meeting Katniss and all of that, then I highly recommend reading this book. I just thought I was over after I was nearly almost done, and the last 50 pages kind of wrecked me, and feel bad for Haymitch even more than I already did. So pick this up if you haven't already. The second thing I want to discuss was with my TBR jar, I picked The Awakening, not realizing this is actually a second book instead of the first one of a series. So I will be getting The Summoning, I believe it's what it's called, for the first book to read, and then I'll continue on if I like the series. Lastly, I wanted to talk about The 13th Child. I don't have the paper cover on right now. I've been reading this. I'm about halfway through and I have been really enjoying it. I wanted to talk more about this book. If you haven't picked this up yet, hopefully this might encourage you to do so. We are following a little girl named Hazel. She has been basically dismissed by her own parents. Her parents did not like her. The mom wanted to give her away, but to a god. And so a couple gods came saying, we'll take her, we'll take her. And finally, a God did pick her up, and that God is Death. Hazel knows him as her godfather, and she ends up being picked up by him only to be dropped off back to her parents, end up sleeping in the barn until the godfather ends up picking her back up. He takes her to the in-between and leaves her alone again for a whole year for her to study all the books on the shelves in a cottage. And she ends up learning how to be a healer and finds out she actually has powers to heal. And this journey of Hazel has to do with the rules that come with being a healer and what her godfather really has to say about death and how he is even limited on what he can do. So he teaches Hazel the consequences of keeping someone alive, even if you love them. This book is really good. Definitely a different picture of what death actually looks like and the consequences behind that. So I actually have enjoyed this so far. There's a lot of other things going on in this book. I just didn't want to ruin it for anybody. So I might give this book a 4 stars. That is my update. Like I said, I'm halfway through and I should be finishing this soon. And then I'll get into the other books that I've picked for the month of March. That's all I have for you today for a reading update. Thank you so much. Until next time. Bye.